Hey everyone, I am really excited to welcome Vikas, aka Vikas Agrawal. He's a sales funnel expert for coaches. He helps coaches scale their businesses through sales funnels and paid ads. Is the co-founder of Coach Funnels, and not to mention the best-selling author of the book You Are Not Too Young. Welcome, Vikas. I'm super excited to have you here.
Thank you, Shubhankar, for the warm welcome. I'm also excited to be on your podcast.
Awesome. So this is episode number 1, and the first thing the funny part is how I reached out to you is I reached out to you yesterday evening and said, hey, because I know it's like super early, super late, but if it's okay, can you just hop on my podcast on Saturday? When I just reached out to you and said, hey, you know what, hop on a podcast. What was going on in your mind at such a short notice?
So first of all, I was like, it's too late, but then I thought it's never too late to add value to people. And whenever the opportunity comes, I always believe in grabbing the opportunity. So whenever the opportunity comes, just grab it.
Yes, that's amazing. Okay, first and foremost thing, your book, You're Not Too Young. That's super inspiring. It became a best-selling author. So tell me about it. How did you get on writing with that book? What made you write that book?
So first of all, I was part of one of my mentors program, Dev Gadvi's program, where I got to learn about how to write the book. So I started writing the book in somewhere in 2020. I started, and during the lockdown, I was writing around March. March, the lockdown started. I started writing around May. So first of all, I had a lot of limiting belief. Who will read my book? I'm too young, and all those things. And that time, I had just started my journey, so I was not earning much. So I always believed that who nobody will listen to a poor philosopher. So for the next 6 months, I kept my book aside, and then I started working on my skills, earning money. So when I started making decent income, I thought now I can write something which people will listen to, because now I was like a decent earner that people will listen to. I was not again a poor or broke philosopher just giving out the philosophies. So in 2022, I again thought, so this year I want to add something to my asset, which can be a lifelong asset. So I thought, which can be the one? So I thought, okay, let's start with the book again, which I left in 2020, which I started again writing in 2021. And for next 6 months, I was like, by June 2021, my book should get launched. It got delayed due to some printing issues and all those things. My book came out in July. So that time in 2021, I thought of this year, the book will come out at any cost. And then for first 1 month, I planned out what will be the title, what will be the content and all those things. And from February, on whole February, I sat for around every day 1 hour consistently. My time was around 11 p.m. to 12 a.m. That was the time in my house where everybody was silent. So I used to keep my laptop on my bed and I used to write every day. Some days were like I had some writer block. I was not able to write. So still I will sit every day to write consistently. And by March, my first draft was ready. Then it got into editing, and that way book came out. So this was like a little bit sneak peek, or more you can say the under the hood journey, what people don't know. So I just thought of sharing it for the first time on your podcast.
Awesome. So thank you for sharing that. So I'm curious to know, you have shared your journey of how you went from, I remember we had this conversation a long time ago of how you were a shy, introverted kid, and all the way up to building funnels for people, working with the best of the best people in India, and not to mention scaling in, working with a huge ad budgets and being a best-selling author. Share us your journey. How did the transition happen? What inspired you to get on this journey?
So this journey is like, I would like to go from my childhood itself, because everything is connected. So I'll go from the very childhood. It will take some few minutes, but
we have a lot of time. We have a lot of time. Go ahead.
That's great. That's great. So from childhood, I was a bright student, a person who would be always in the top rankers, top 3 ranks. And in 6th standard, I topped my class. So that was one of the achievement for me to be in the first rank. And in 10th standard, again, I got good marks. Means in CBSE, you can get the highest is a 10 CGPA. That was the grading system is there. So I scored 10 CGPA. And after that, somewhere you can say that the pride got into me, that I can study less and I can score more. That was something which it got into my head. I was like too much pride. I had too much pride on my laurels or on my achievements. So when I came into 11th standard, things started deteriorating. I was not studying. And when my first physics test in 11th standard, I scored less than 50% marks. And everybody around me started teasing me. Oh man, topper, what happened to you? You're getting so less marks and all those things. And my whole self-image got shattered. I was like, I'm not able to score good marks. And then after that, few more tests came. I was not able to get good marks. So slowly, my ideology became that I can't study well. And then I didn't went to school for next 1 month. Whole together for 1 month, I didn't went to school. I was into too much depression that I thought of doing a suicide. I wrote a suicidal letter and stuck it on the refrigerator in the home. And my mom read it. She said, "What happened?" I said, "I had only one goal in my life: study well, get good job, get good marks, study well, get good marks, get a good job, and have a settled life. But if the first thing I'm not able to do, which is study, I won't get good marks. If I don't get good marks, I won't have a good life. If I won't have a good life, I'll be unhappy. If I'm unhappy, you will be unhappy. So what is the meaning of this life? Let's end it." So that was the thing which happened. So my mom said, "Is this the only thing?" I said, "Yes." So my mom counseled me. She said, "People don't get a life. You got a life as a human being. And if you don't want to live for yourself, live for others." So that became my mantra, that if I don't want to live for myself, I will live for others. So slowly, I started coping up. From being the topper, I left the goal of becoming a topper. I was not at all interested, means not at all focused on becoming a topper. My goal was just to get decent marks so that I can get into something in my life, so get some good marks. So I was targeting 80-85 percentage. Then 11th standard went by, 12th standard went by, and then I was too much happy, means into website making. And during my 8th standard, I made a first website. So I loved making websites a lot. So I thought in engineering, they would teach me this. I entered into the engineering with this expectation that if I go into computer science engineering, they'll teach me how to do websites, how to do Google, all those thing. But it came completely opposite. In the first semester itself, I learned about that it's all about coding and all those things. So first semester somehow went by, second semester went by, third semester also went by. By fourth semester, I was very much clear that something is wrong. If I get, I had to do something apart from this. So by the time second year was over, I was pretty much clear. I have to do something which is completely altogether separate. And so I started looking for opportunities. So I went to somebody to ask for advice. He said, "Go for networking." So I told, I already tried my hands on Cisco networking. Then somebody said, "Try digital marketing." And he said, "It is booming." Okay, I said, "Okay, let me go for a class, for a demo class."
Yeah.
So I went to a nearby institute in Noida. I was living in Noida at that time. I went to a nearby institute and asked for a demo class. And then in the demo class, they showed me things like how to make websites, how to do SEO, how to do paid ads. And that something clicked in me, that this was something I was looking in the 8th standard when I was making a website. I didn't know the fancy terms like digital marketing and all those things, but I was looking something like this only, to make money from AdSense, to make like things like this. So that somehow got connected. So in the third year of my college, I decided I'll do college in the weekdays, I'll do digital marketing the weekends. So that was my whole schedule. So I was grinding myself a lot. On the one hand, engineering; on the other hand, digital marketing. So that somehow the journey started with digital marketing. But again, the thing came like, okay, I'm very good at digital marketing. I can get clients. I can make money. So I got a first client by one of the reference. So that client lasted just 3 months, because I thought I know everything, how to do reporting and all those things. But I didn't knew that I was just a small fish in a very big pond, and I was not at very good at skills. Also, I was just a beginner. In my mind, I was an expert, but in reality, I was just a beginner. I just a newbie. So and then I stumbled upon the my mentor's book, 80% mindset, 20% skills. I read his book, my mentor's book, Dev Sir's book. Then I joined his mentorship program. And when I went into his mentorship program, I got to learn about these things like what is a mission, vision, passion. And this something again got connected to my thing which happened in 11th standard. In 11th standard, what happened after my depression, I call it my second life. My first life was already over by the 11th. My second life, I call it my second birth. So I thought somehow the reason of the life was again gone. When the things got decent in college and everything, I lost the reason why I got the second life. But when I got connected with my mentor, when I got started to think about mission, vision, passion, then things came in. Okay, why was the second life given to me? And then I started looking upon what can I do to make the second life meaningful. So I was already having the skill of digital marketing, means I was always improving on it. And still today on the till date, I keep on improving it. But I knew this is a skill I have. Now, the second thing was, who can I help? So I was thinking, okay, can I help students? But I thought, no, students who don't have the capability to pay much, means usually students don't pay much easily.
Yeah.
Then I thought, let's see who can I help. So I again went back to my journey. I saw in last 6 months when I joined the mentorship, in the last 6 months, I saw my life was changed by coaches. So why don't give them back? Because coaches are good at what they do. They are very good at their skills. But when it comes to marketing, they're not very good at
Yeah,
technicalities.
absolutely.
So that somehow I connected. Okay, I have the skill of marketing, and I am also very good at technical. And the coaches are the people who are looking for this. And at that time I had a limiting belief that I can't be a coach. So I thought, why not help other people through them? It's ultimately it's helping the humanity. So
Yeah.
either I help directly or either I help them reach other people. So that's how the things got connected. And then I ended up helping coaches, trainers, and mentors with their funnels and marketing. And that's how I connect my passion and my skills.
That's amazing. One thing I really is, I come from a family of teachers, and with the line where you mentioned that, what, teachers, and I call it teachers, like coaches, whoever, knowledge givers, they're really, really good at what they do, but they don't know how to market themselves. And that is so sad to look into it. I see a lot of people, and especially I hear is just like, what, I'm not into tech, I'm not into this. Where do you think is the challenge there? Because I see so many people, they're good at do, but they don't know how to put themselves out. Where do you think is the challenge, and what do you think what's your perspective on this whole situation? What do you think they should be doing?
So one of the perspective I have regarding this is that they always think themselves as a teacher only. They think themselves as a teacher or coach. They don't think themselves as an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, our job is not to learn everything. Our job is to find who can do the how. Means you don't have to learn always the how thing, that how can I do this. You have to just find who can do this for me. So once you have this mindset shift as a coach, as a mentor, as a trainer, then you start figuring out, okay, who can do this for me. And once you start figuring out the who, that ways we as a people get connected. Me as a helping with the marketing, you as a guy who can help with the branding. So that is the things they need to think of. That is the belief thing which I believe, that they don't have, the challenge is with the belief they have, that their identity is too much fixated, that they are a coach or a trainer. They don't have the identity that I'm entrepreneur, although they are on a mission to change lives, but the identity shift they need to have, that they're not just a coach or a trainer, they're an entrepreneur. They're a social entrepreneur, helping people, helping humanity. And once they have the identity shift, I'm sure they'll start looking out for who, and not just figuring out how to do this.
You hit the nail on the head, because while interacting with so many coaches, I get these answers. I came across a gentleman who had like 25 years experience. I was like, listen, this is the product you need to upset. Is like, what, man, I'm not a salesman, I don't know how to teach, I know only how to teach, I'm not a marketer, all this is not for me, I don't know how you can do it. The part where you said that, the identity needs to shift, that's where you hit the nail on the head. Because when I can't figure things out, it's like, hey Vikas, can you please help me out with this? Because I know in fact you're the one who trained me and my team in a lot of automations, right? So how do you think they can approach this? Let's say there is a coach out there, okay, who is really good at what they do, but they don't know how to reach out. They don't know these funnels, and they have this whole limiting belief that I'm not a marketer. I don't know how to sell. I don't know how to build automations. It's too much technical for me, but I want clients. What do you think they should do first thing?
So for the first thing is take some small steps. I don't recommend to go with the whole tools, hire an agency at the first place. First, try with the simple tools which are there. Start with a Google form. If you don't know how to make a landing page, just make a simple Google form and get started. Start collecting the details of the people, and Google form automatically gets connected to a Google Sheet. Then add people manually to a WhatsApp group and start doing some webinars. Start building that base first. Once you have that ball rolling, then hire an agency or a freelancer who can help you to automate the things. True. Because we are not a person that will go for a Shark Tank or something and get a funding for these things. You have to do on your own. So start by doing small things. Get the ball rolling first, and eventually I believe you will find the right people at the right time. And be mindful of this. If you're watching this podcast, I'm sure you would have this mindset shift already. You would have already got the context expansion regarding this, that you need to hire somebody at some point of time. So once you unconsciously start, means consciously you already, now you know consciously, and when it went to your unconscious thing, you will start automatically attract those type of people. Just first get the ball rolling first, and then you will automatically figure out people.
Yeah, you need to start small, because I remember, honestly, for me to master automation, after getting trained for months from you, to me to figure the whole thing out, it took me 1 year. But before I even built a landing page, the first thing I did was build an InstaMojo page, InstaMojo product page to collect leads. I remember doing that. So tell me about your first funnel. Like, I know one thing that you're really good at building funnels, different funnels. Tell me, how did you build your first funnels? What was your experience? Tell me about your first funnel, first set of automation, the first project which you worked on. What was it and how did it go?
So there are two first projects which I count. One is the before I started helping coaches. That was during that I told in the story that when I got my first client, just when I was just finished digital marketing and I got my first client, but that was a boutique client. So I got it from a reference from a person who was part of the same digital marketing institute for the same batch. So he referred me a client for boutique. I started helping her to get clients for it was a ladies boutique. I started helping her to get clients for the uh, stitching things and all those things. So that somehow I started running some Facebook ads and started running some Instagram creators and all. So, but as soon I figured out I'm not good at it, and then I left it. Then again I went back to learning more and more. I found out Russell Brunson with the help of my mentor, Umesh Madishetty sir. He introduced me the world of funnels. I was knowing just digital marketing. I was unaware about the world of funnels. So I started learning about funnels. He referred me to the one funnel away challenge. I started with the one funnel away challenge. I went into it. I went all in. I started learning about funnels, and that again a mindset shift happened. That I'm not a digital marketer. I'm a funnel builder. I do things which matters. I don't do fluff. I do things which actually bring results. So that somehow I started doing the funnels, and then somebody reached out to Umesh sir. So he said, the person asked him, can you help me with the funnels? So he said, I'm very much occupied. I don't have the bandwidth right now, but this guy can help you out. Okay. So that time he referred me. So the very first reaction I had to Umesh sir was, sir, I have never built a funnel. How will I build it? He said, you have been learning last few months only this thing. Don't you think you can do it? I said, I doubt. So he said, no worries. I am with you. So just one line of him was like a motivator for me that I can do it. Then I started building the first page, the first landing page, the second one, then the third one. And the best part was that I rejected a job offer of 12K just a month before this happened. Okay. I rejected a job of 12K and I just made that money in just 3 days.
Awesome.
On the first project itself. So I was like, I had again a mindset shift that you don't need to trade time for money. You can actually trade your results for money. So that day, 3 days, just 3 days, I went all in. And that was during a lockdown also. That time lockdown had already happened. So people were struggling for money and I was actually making money there. And also, I didn't had the haircut and a lot of me, I was like shabby, all the clothes are not getting washed and all those things. So it was like a very different experience altogether. I didn't had a fancy table. I didn't had the MacBook at that time. I had a Dell laptop, very heavy laptop, and I used to live in a PG. So not a very dream-like setup, which you can see. It's like not a dream-like setup, but a good, decent setup.
It's a very good setup. Yeah.
Yeah. At that time, I didn't have any setup. I had just a wooden, a cupboard on which I used to keep my laptop. I used to work on it. And then that was something. So first experience was like a amazing one because when you get paid for what you love, nothing can beat it. So the first experience was very good. I was very much afraid if something went wrong or something like that, but it went very smooth and it ended up giving very good results to the clients. So main thing is the client got very good results and a lot of people got benefited. I've seen the mentees the client got from that funnel are still in touch with them and still they share their success stories. So somehow I believe that my name is not taken somewhere that I was the integrator who got connected to them, but I know God is watching and I'm getting the blessings from those people for helping them connect to the right people. So that's what I believe in.
Awesome. So, I mean, that's really inspiring. You know, especially the part, two things which really stood out. The first part where you get paid for what you love, that's amazing because, you know, one of the first breakthroughs where I got paid was there was this particular startup out there. They wanted me to write a brand story and they paid me $5,000 and I was on top of the world like, dude, they paid me $5,000 to write a story. I want to tell stories and build brands. I understand that feeling. And the second important thing which you really mentioned is trading time for money versus trading value for money. How does someone shift? Tell us something about, give your perspective on that. How does someone shift? Because I know even today, some highly talented coaches, they negotiate deals like I'm gonna give you per hour. They literally do this, especially therapists and counselors. Per hour, it's 700, 1,000, 2,000 bucks. How do they shift from this time for money to value for money?
So what I believe in this is you need to actually think on this. What is the impact you're creating on the person? If you're selling a medicine, for example, if somebody has a headache, if you're giving just a medicine, what you're trying to create is an impact on them. It's not just about the headache. You're saving them the misery. You're saving them. They might have a very important meeting, which might have got ruined if you don't cure the headache. So the impact you're creating on them is a very huge one. So you need to think on that. What is the impact you're creating on the person? And then that way you need to think of what value they will get. Don't just try to trade time for money. Try to trade value. See what is the result what is the ROI you're giving to them, and not just the surface level ROI. Check on what is the level of ROI. In closing, we call it surface level pain, then business level pain, then the actual, actual pain. So you need to check out what is the level you're touching with your things. For example, if I solve an automation problem for somebody, from business point of view, I save them a lot of money, because that way they are saving a lot of time and they don't have to hire a person to do this repeated things. And from the actual pain point of view, they will see they are actually making more money also because of it. And also they are saving a lot of misery. Otherwise, they would have a lot of headaches. They would have a lot of fights. Oh man, you didn't update it on time. I was not able to do this. I was not able to do this. So from that point of view, if you see the value, you are actually creating a value in their life where they're having a peaceful life because of the automation. So when you go deep into what you are doing, you will actually start figuring out what is the level of pain you're solving. And then that way you will think of, okay, you're not trading the time or skill for money. You're actually trading value and impact for money.
Yeah. So how do you measure, like, let's say, just to give a perspective, let's say, how do you measure how much how much do you charge for, let's say you are creating, let's say, a funnel, or let's say I'm creating a brand strategy. I have my own way, but I'm curious to know, how do you price your products based on value? Let's say someone's out there, because pricing is a big issue for people. They don't know how to price. Either they overcharge and hope that they'll come down. We had this conversation, like you said, some people start all the way, they go from 0 to 50 or 60,000 without having a value ladder. What is the right strategy for pricing here, value for money? What's the right strategy according to you?
So according to me, there's no right or wrong strategy in this. When I started out, I started with a small ticket, because the thing is, like, now when you start out, don't worry about the money in the first few projects, because you are also testing out, and the person who you're helping is also testing you out. So first few projects, don't worry about money. Just try to get the testimonials first. Try to get your competence up. Because when I made my first one, as I told you, I was very much worried. If something goes wrong, somebody has already paid me money. If I'm not able to deliver the project, what will happen? So that you have a lot of limiting beliefs and you don't have the confidence in yourself. So first few projects, don't worry about the money. First, build your confidence and competence and get the testimonials out of the people. Because social proof is the biggest thing which people lack, the newbies lack. So on the first few projects, don't worry about the money. Go about this way. And then after that, on the pricing strategy, it is like what we usually charge in an agency is like we charge a fixed amount, which is like a very on the subpar level of what others are charging, but it's a little bit higher on the higher side. And then we charge a percentage of the profits they are making. So that way we actually involve ourselves in helping them become successful. So we charge on the profits part, so that if they are profitable, we are profitable. So that our whole effort is to make them profitable. Usually in this space of digital marketing and funnels world, usually people charge on the ad spend. For example, if you spend $10,000, they will charge you $1,000. That is 10% of the 10% of the ad spend. But in that case, the agency's KPI or KRA is to make your CPL go higher, so that you spend more and more money and they make more.
Oh, yeah.
But for we turn the tables. We tell them we'll charge you on the profits. The fixed money we charge because there's a lot of people involved in the project, and we need to have at least some decent money to keep the agency running. But the actual money we want to make and actually impact is like when you make profits, we make profits. So our whole team is driven by how much profit we can make for you. And if you want to make more profit for you, we'll make sure the cost per lead is as low as possible, because the lower the cost per lead, the higher the profits. So that's what our strategy is. We turn the tables. We don't follow the tradition of charging on the ad spend. We charge on the basis of the how much profit are you making.
Yeah, I mean, now to think of it, like if someone's charging on the ad spend, they would always look to make the cost per lead go up, right? I never thought of it that way, that people could also be doing this. So coming to agency, you became the co-founder of Coach Funnels. Talk us through talk us through, walk us through that journey. How do you become a co-founder there? What was the
So
journey?
so when I made my first funnel, I was working with my mentor Umesh sir,
Hmm.
and then slowly we were only two people in the company, and then few more people joined in. Then we thought of, there was no legal structure or something like agency structure. We were working all together in harmony. Then we thought, okay, if you have to grow, we need to actually formalize a company. We need to form an agency, a proper model. And then we decided, okay, me, Ayush Poddar, one of my co-founder, and Umesh sir will be the co-founders, and then other will be working as a team members. So that's few people stepped up, and everybody actually stepped up in terms of their skills, in their terms of responsibilities, and that's how Coach Funnels was born. So the whole story of Coach Funnels was born because everybody, everybody, the co-founders and everybody in the team members' life was changed by coaches. So we everybody had a same mission. So starting the agency was on the basis of the mission. Everybody was aligned, everybody had the same vision and mission. So that's how everybody came together, and that's how the agency was started. And then we decided who are the people who are the right fit for becoming the co-founders, and then we decided, okay, we are the co-founders, and then we made it a legal structure, and then opened the company, and all those stuff went, and then we started putting out ourselves in the market as Coach Funnels.
Awesome. So according to you, what is the best project that you have worked so far till now, which you feel like, okay, this project is the best project I've worked till now? What is that project?
So for me, as such, it might sound a diplomatic answer. So every project is crucial. So because I've worked in different niches. I've worked with career coaches. I've worked with mindset coaches. I've worked with different type of people. So what I've found is now every project has given me a different set of learning. So few coaches I've seen, they are very much good at what they do. Means all the coaches are good at what they do, and some are very good at the people skill, how to talk to the agency guys, how to get connected with them. So that I got to learn from some clients. I got to learn that somehow you means you need to maintain and draw a line between what you do, and don't over advise
Overstep
them
the
on
line.
things. Yeah, don't get too much into their business, otherwise you are actually hurting the sentiments of the person. So that way every client actually got to learn about this. And I don't think as there's no best project or worst project. Every project is like more or less same for me. Some projects gave us a good ROI in terms of money and returns, and some projects gave us a very good ROI in terms of experiences and what not to do. Sometimes we got to learn what to do, but it is also very much essential to learn what not to do at times.
Okay,
So
what
that
not to do? What not? So let's say there are coaches out there. What not to do? What shouldn't they do? Share us your learnings of what not to do.
So okay, so from a coach's point of view, the what not to do things are like, first thing is start small. Even don't just directly pump up the budget like this. For example, if you made a good profits in the last webinar or something like that, don't just double the budget in the next one, thinking that, oh, okay, I'm making good money. If I'm putting 1 rupee and I'm making 2 rupee out, so I'll put 10 rupees in and I'll make it 100 rupees out. The game doesn't work that way. The business doesn't work that way, that you can just pump up the budget in 1 week or something like that. Start building the base, start building the testimonials. And one of the major mistake I made in my whole journey was like, I never collected testimonials in the start. I always forgot to collect testimonials. I didn't know that social proof mattered much. So I was like, okay, I got a WhatsApp message, thank you for the work, and okay, blah, blah, blah. And okay, I was happy. I got the money, I got it, thank you, and that's fine. But later on, I learned that you need to collect testimonials. So from the coaching point of view, also, if you're helping your mentees, make sure you get a video testimonial. If they're not if they're not what do you say, confident on camera, then ask them for a WhatsApp testimonial. So there are a few things which you need to do. So not to do is not to ignore the testimonials part. Always keep collecting them.
Okay.
And the other things that like not to do is give some time for the people to actually understand your project. For example, if you're hiring an agency, don't think that they will give you the result from the first day itself. Give them some time to understand your project. Have some patience, because a lot of my clients who stayed with us more than 3 months have made good ROIs. The people who left the patients, who went before 3 months, made some losses or were not able to make good profits. The people who stayed for the more than 3 months are making good profits. And there's like a curve is like this, means the starting is slow. When the flight starts, it goes slow, but then it takes a very good leap. So that ways, always, if you are trust the people who are hiring. If you're not able to trust them, then actually don't continue the relationship for long. If you have any trust issues, don't continue that relationship for long. Otherwise, it will hurt both the agency, the freelancer, whoever you're working with, and it will hurt you also. So in the first place, make sure you trust them, then only you start working. Otherwise, it's a loss for both the parties. And patience is the key. It's like it will, for one of my clients, they made around 1 lakh in around 4 months. And then they made 1 lakh in 1 week. So that was the whole jump which had, because for 4 months we were building the base. We were collecting the testimonials, social proof, getting the webinar sorted. Everything was getting sorted. Then the thing came, then a day came that was which we call a payday. That is also not actually a payday. Payday will be like a 10 lakhs a day, a 10 lakhs week, or 15 lakhs week. But that ways you need to build the base first and then start making the jump, leap of faith, and making a big jumps. So if you have the patience game, that is what you need to do.
Got it. So let's say, tell me something. Okay, this could be a crazy question, but I'm asking. Let's say of all the projects you worked with, which project do you feel like, dude, I should never ever have taken this project. This project just sucked my life or sucked the soul out of me. Which is there any project like that? Because you always talk about what was the best project, how did it go? I want to know the other side. I want to know about things didn't work out so that others can learn. What is the project which you felt like, okay, this is the project I should never have touched at all? Is there any project like that?
Yeah, recently 2 projects like this came out.
Okay.
So for one of the project, what happened was we had a very clear expectation on what we'll deliver to the client, and client was also very much clear. But somehow client went on for vacations suddenly. Then they came back and then they're hyper. Oh, nothing is happening. Oh, this should have happened. This should have happened by now. Then we asked, were you available for this? She said, no, I need some time. Then again, thing came like, okay, let's get started now. Let's get the ball rolling. When they again started ball rolling, again went on vacations. Again, there was a stop. So, and whenever they will come back, oh, I think we are lagging behind. We should have got this done fast. We should have done this. So you're not in a position to even blame them, and they're not even in a position to understand. So that was a project which I thought, okay, that why did I took this project? Because for me, if I'm not delivering the value for the money I'm getting, if I'm not delivering, over delivering, I always feel regret. Why I'm not able to over deliver. But the thing is, if somebody is not, for example, if somebody is not ready to catch, how will you throw the ball to them if they are not able ready to catch the ball? So that was something which happened for one of the clients. And for the other clients, what happened was we were all sorted, everything was going good, but suddenly a lot of revisions started coming in. So what we did was we didn't had the cap on revisions, the number of revisions we do in the funnels. Because in the past we always had the thing sorted within 2 to 3 revisions.
Yeah.
So we thought we don't need to cap the number of revisions. But this time the number of revisions are like unlimited. Still till date the revisions are going on. So that way our bandwidth is getting disrupted, and the funnel which was planned to be made to be a funnel turned out to be a website. Because we'll let the client decide what you want. We'll give this. So a point came in time where we felt like we gave up. What we will ask, we'll put. And then which ended up in becoming a website rather than a funnel. So that was one of the regret. Time also went by and everything went by. And still, I'm not sure if the client is happy or not. We still we are yet to receive a reply on this, whether it's a website or a funnel. So yet to receive a reply on it.
Sometimes I think a lot of people, especially who come into this, they don't know what they want. They won't have a clear idea of what they want. So I want to share something. So I want to share a very similar incident. So initially, I wanted to launch this brand campaign. So this brand campaign of helping people building people's stories and going on. That campaign I started 2 years ago. It still hasn't picked up well. So what we did is we went to 2-3 people. I was like, hey, you know what? I want to listen to your story. I want to share it and put it out. So it was this lady who was very well accomplished and doing everything. So we shot a Zoom session with her. I asked her a lot of questions, just like I'm asking you. And then I made a script. Okay, I sent her the script. She sent the audio. We made the first version of the video. She was like, you know what? We need to change this. Came the first revision. Then she shot some stills in her bedroom. My daughter is saying this. Second thing came up. Third came up. We edited the video, a 90-second video, 7 times, to the point where Parinit, who edits with me, and we both were thinking, what have we done over here? this looks like trash. The artistic ability has gone. It went from this beautiful brand story to a promotion of hers, like a corporate promotion. I got this award, I have this degree, everything. And soon we just sent a message saying, hey, you know what? I think this is not working out. And I don't know, she never replied to me. I understand this, clients. Like, so what? One more thing is, let's say something doesn't go well with you. Okay, tell me about your failures. I want to know where are the things that you feel like, okay, here are the things I failed. And the second question following up with it, what are the things you wish you knew before building these funnels and getting into all this? Let's start with the first question. Let's say while working professionally or anywhere, what do you think are like, okay, these are the failures which I learned a lot from. What are your failures?
Good question. I need some time to figure this out, means
Yeah.
to come up with the right answers, means some of the right answers to this.
Take your time.
So first thing, the first failure I already shared in the story is like in the last few minutes of the podcast was the first time when I started writing a book. I failed at the first attempt because I had to keep it aside because I started in around 2020. I had to keep it aside. That was the first failure. So that was one of the first failure. Then the second failure was I actually bought a phone on EMI. I bought once I got my first client, that with a boutique client, I bought a phone worth 72,000. First 78,000, after cashback adjusted it 72,000.
Which
So
phone was it? Which phone?
It was Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus.
Oh.
So that was on dream phone. So I just directly bought it, and I bought it on my friend's brother's credit card. So every month's EMI was 8,000 rupees EMI was there every month. So I failed to give after the third EMI. I was failed to give the EMIs on time, and that actually bundled a lot of pressure on me, financially and emotionally as well, because somebody had trusted me to give them money and I was not able to repay on time. Although I never keep any balances of anybody, I cleared all the balances, but I was not able to clear it on time. So that was again a failure for me. Then the failure was for one of our client.
Okay,
Yes, sorry.
tell me. Yes, tell me. When I was coming to ask that, what about building your funnels or anything? What was your failure point of that? Are there any projects that didn't just take off or work or something like that?
Yeah, for one of our clients, we ran ads for 4 to 5 weeks, but still we were not able to even touch the break even. So there was a disconnect between us, also the work we did, the quality of audience we were attracting was not right, and even the coach who was trying to pitch in the webinars was not that seasoned in the terms of the platform closing. So it was a disconnect from both the ends. We were not able to attract the right kind of audience he was looking for, because even he was not much clear who he wants. So that way it was a failure for both of us, that we were not able to make that project a big hit.
Okay, so how do you deal with things when things don't work out? Because especially as entrepreneurs, some months, doesn't matter who it is, from my perspective, some months just don't go well. The cash flow isn't just there. It's like everything you're doing is right. How do you deal with that? What's your idea? Let's say you have 1 or 2 or 3 good months, and after that, let's say the cash flow suddenly not stops, slows down a little. How do you deal with those situations? What's your idea about that?
So there are two versions to it. The first version of mine is like a year before version. So where it was like the months where I had good cash flow, I used to spend and burn the money, and I was not knowing where the money is going out. I was not knowing where the money is going.
Okay.
And then when the cash flow comes down, I was like, I'm earning good money. Where is the money going? So for me, the downtime is like I sleep a lot. When I have a downtime, I sleep a lot. I try to I'm not able to sometimes not handle things. So I will sleep out and I'll just try to make the time go away. I'll try to save money on here and few things. So that was the 1 year before version. I'll try to cut down the cost at some places. But this year's version is like, I try to figure out, okay, from where can I make money now? If my cash flow is going down, who can I help to make more money? So just like Grant Cardone says, who has my money? I'll just seek out, okay, who has the money I can get from?
Give
Who
me
is the
some
person?
examples for it. Let's say if you had to make your first one, if you had to make 1 lakh starting from now, what would you do?
So if I have to start making 1 lakh from zero, I'll look for the products which I can promote and make money out of it.
Okay. Give us an example. Which product?
So one of the course I recently made money, $7,000 without any promotion, was like I just made 7,000 out of one funnel level challenge. I promoted, it's $100 challenge where you get 100% affiliate commission. So somebody on Instagram messaged me, how did you learn about funnels? I said I learned from this course. That person went on to buy the course. I made $100 straight away. So that was like a $7,000 by adding value to the person, by showing him the right direction and making good money with a zero investment for me, because it was just an Instagram DM and helped me make 7,000. So although I don't promote it much, because I try to promote it whenever I get the chance, but it's like I don't go full time into it, because my main thing is to help people with the funnels. So that's how I start. That's how I make money. The second thing is, if I have to make 0 to 1 lakh, other thing is like, I'll figure out the people, the coaches, because my target market is coaches. I'll figure out what is lacking in their funnel, and I'll get on a call with them and genuinely help them. What are the things they can fix? And if it is required also, I'll start working for free. If I'm starting from zero, I'll start working for free, help them out, and then ask them, what is the value you think of this? And then I start make them recurring client of mine. So if I do 4 or 5 people this thing, and if I charge at least 30 to 40K, just 3 or 4 clients, I'm all set for 1 lakh a month easily.
Okay.
As a
I'm curious
freelancer.
to know what is the sales process you follow? Because you mentioned, okay, let's say you're there. How would you approach that person? And how would you get them on a call? And how would you close them? Walk us through your strategy of that, or closing them for a funnel. How would you go about it? I'm curious to know.
So I would go about adding them as a Facebook friend or a LinkedIn connection. And then I start posting content around the mistakes they are making. So somehow they will get connected to my content. What are the mistakes they're making? So indirect cold, what do you say, cold prospecting, you can call it cold prospecting. I'll start posting around those things. I'll comment on their post about what they're doing. And they will see my comments, they will like all those things. And then I'll message them, okay, I was checking out your funnel. This were the mistakes. Would you like to help me to get on a call? When we get on a call, I'll book a call with them. I'll explain them everything transparently. These are the things you can improve. These are things. And then we'll decide, okay, what do you think? Where should we go from here? Should I help you out or not? And then that way I'll book a call with them. And then I'll start the project. I'll start the project. And then from there, I'll pick it up.
So coming to the last part, how do you close? Because everyone has their own way of closing, and this is something I want to ask you. So how do you close people? What's your strategy? Do you have a framework? Do you follow a script? Let's say I was there, like I didn't pretty much need closing. I came to you like, dude, I need this, right? So let's say there is someone who's on the edge of it. What's your strategy for closing? How do you close them? Get on a call, you add value, and how do we take it forward? Can you just share us what is your strategy of closing? How do you close people?
So I'll be very transparent here. So pretty much I have not closed too much in my life, because I usually had people coming to me directly, or otherwise one of my team member is there who does the closing. So one of the few clients I closed was like, I genuinely went them by transparently helping them, transparently showing them what will be the process. And we'll start with this ads, we'll start with the copywriting, this messaging, this will be the funnel. So one of the client you referred us was stock market. I just did the same strategy for him. I didn't prepare any closing script or something.
Yeah.
He just called me that, okay, I need a landing page. So I asked him, what are the things you already have? So he shared me some landing pages. Okay, I saw, okay, these are the mistakes you are making in your landing page, in the ads. Then he asked me, do you run ads also? At that time, I had one more person. So I just built a team out of nowhere. Means one person was there, but not a proper team was not there. But we know that we are good fit. He was good at copywriting. I was good at ads. So I just, okay. So I thought, yeah, we give ads. That's how I built the whole team out of it. And then he said, okay, will you be able to do this? I said, yes. And then we ran profitably for 2.5 months. We were running profitably. No, sorry, we were talking about the closing. So I got him on the call. First, there was a phone call with a brief understanding the things, what he's looking for, what he's not looking for. Then we got on a Zoom call, and then we showed him, this is the process which will be there. This will be the work getting started. On Trello board, you will be sharing the credentials and everything. And then we get started with a advance payment of some amount, that this is the commitment amount. And then we showed him this will be the cost of the tools, because a lot of people don't tell the tools cost. And that comes as a surprise again. Oh, I didn't do this. Tool will also be there. This is also there. So we share everything transparently. There's this much amount you will have to spending on ads, considering the lead cost. This will be the amount you need to spend on tools. Like this tool will be required for making landing page. This tool will be required for making the automations. And then our USP was always like using the most valuable, value for money tools. We we don't try to make money from affiliate marketing too much. I mean, like we don't promote tools like which are very expensive, and the person is like, should I pay for you? Should I pay for this tool, or should I pay for ads? So we always try to cut down the costs in the tools, not cutting down, but trying to find out the tools which are the value for money, so that it's not a huge money on the pocket, because you can't cut on the ads cost, you can't cut on the agency cost, but something you can cut on is the tools cost. That's how I close always. I always share everything transparently, and then people, a lot of compliments I've got from people is like, we got close because you shared everything transparently. We thought there's some level of intimacy, some level of trust we can have on you, even before getting on the working, getting started working with you. So for me, which thing has work has been transparency, that being transparent.
So I remember the tools which you shared, I use the same thing. I still use Builderall. Okay. And by the way, guys, Builderall is a platform where you can get all, okay, can you tell people about Builderall? You'll be able to tell it well what Builderall is. That's the tool which you use, and Vikas will drop his link. They have some offer there. You can drop your Builderall link. If anyone wants it, you get a free trial. It's for $1, I guess. So you can share about Builderall. Go ahead, share about Builderall.
Yeah, so Builderall is a digital marketing tool, which is like an all-in-one platform where you can build your landing pages, you can have your email subscribers, you can have chatbot, you can have WhatsApp automations. So you have pretty much everything sorted by this. Yes, you will need an alternative, one more tool, which is called Pabbly, which is an alternative to Zapier. You will need Pabbly to do some kind of automations. But other than this, you will get this everything sorted inside Builderall. Because the biggest USP, which I find is, because if you go for another tools like Active Campaign, you go for Get Response, they charge you on the number of subscribers you have in your email list. But Builderall has unlimited subscribers. So that's where somehow the USP, there's the biggest USP I found. Because a lot of the clients who came to me were paying almost 25,000-30,000 just for the emails on Get Response and on Active Campaign. And when they came to us, they said, you just cut down a very big amount of expense for us. And they said, we are very happy with the amount of that amount they were saving. They were able to invest in us and invest in marketing and the ads. So that's how the Builderall is. And if you want to get started, the trial, I'm not sure what's the trial plan running right now. But if in case you want to join, it's just start with $16. First plan is just $16.
Yeah.
And also we have a very close Telegram community, a private Telegram community where you have any queries regarding Builderall, your funnels, you can always have your questions coming in. We have almost 100+ members, and everybody is helping each other in that Telegram group.
Awesome. So so coming to Builderall and automations and tools, let's say a coach, someone is a coach out there and they want to start scaling up. What are the top 6 or 5 to 6 skills they should master? What are the skills they should master to start scaling up? Starting from 1, what is the top number 1 skill they should master?
I would say is platform closing.
Okay, platform closing. So what is number 2 after platform closing?
Number 2, I would say just hire an agency like us.
Okay, yeah, actually that's for a lot of people, I'll tell you, they can't put in the work, amount of time and effort it takes to learn. The initial learning curve of automation is hard. It's just my experience, because I think I had attended your webinar and I was like, dude, I want to do it, but I can't do it on my own. So I approached you, and after you taught me, it took me almost 6 to 8 months to understand how it works. Even now, like sometimes we screw things up. One day before the campaign, I text you like, hiring agency is good. Okay, how do you hire an agency? That's good. If you're a coach, how do you hire an agency? How do you know it's the right fit for you?
So check out their work, what they have done, and try to ask as many questions. They will get stuck somewhere if they're not good at what they do. So try to get out the work, and you can even reach out to their clients if required. What are the client's name they share? Because everything is transparent in these days. Everything is black and white. You can actually check out their stories, Instagram stories. You'll find who are their clients. Try reaching out to them and get a genuine feedback from them. Don't just believe in reviews which are available. Reviews are good, but still have a word with the clients, whoever they're handling to. And don't go for a very long contract, which I believe. Have at least 3 months of patience when you're working with the agency. Give at least them 3 months, and then things will start coming up. So within the 3 months, you will know which agency is good, which agency is not good. So you need to believe in them and trust in them. Even if you're hiring a freelancer who has started a new time for the first time, he will put in his best efforts because he wants to prove himself. So even if you're hiring an agency or a freelancer, give them at least 3 months of time to get the thing sorted. So what I believe is in hiring an agency, it's more about the patience is the key rather than what are the skills they have. It's the patience is the key, and have very set clear expectations when you're hiring an agency. Don't be ambiguous in what you want. Be very transparent in what you want. Then only they will be able to give you what you want. If you have ambiguity, then they will both will screw up. You will also screw up, and as an agency, they will also screw up in what you want. So be very transparent on that part.
And so speaking of coaches, from what I've seen, a lot these days, a lot of coaches are just popping up. One part of people are approaching coaching as this quick buck to make money. They're not actually interested in coaching. The second part of people are actually, like we discussed about, they're really good at what they do, but they don't know. What do you think of this? Like, I call them gurus. A lot of gurus are popping up, just showing off. A lot of them have fake reviews. It might not even work. What do you think of that? Like, a lot of gurus popping up, they were affiliate. It's like business coaches who never had a business popping up, showing some other monies out there. What is your take on that? Gurus popping up these days. Does it affect coaches? How does it work out according to you?
So what I believe in this now, whatever whoever is trying to just build a what do you say, a kingdom of cards, a kingdom of playing cards, it will actually wash off whenever the Facebook lead will go up, YouTube lead cost will go up, they will actually vanish because they don't understand the gravity of the business. They are just here for a quick buck. So they were into the coaching market until they were making it profitable. Otherwise, they will. And once the cost per lead starts going up, everything, the expenses start going up, they will wash away. They are the not people who are the right people. So check out their reviews. Talk to their mentees, and I believe that it's in every market. People will come and go, but whoever you're trusting to, have the faith in them. If you're trusting somebody as a mentor, have faith in them. And if you don't, like, you can always have a second chance. You can have a don't just blame the industry for some wrong person. If you got connected with some wrong person, then don't just start blaming the industry. For example, a lot of people get connected to wrong agencies, wrong digital marketers, and then they say that digital marketing does not work, funnels does not work. It is not the problem with that industry. It is the problem with the person you got connected. And it's like, luckily I've never got into connected to such persons. Some clients I got which I feel like I regret getting them, but it happens. It happens always.
Yeah.
It is not always. If you just take an example of a movie, out of 100 movies you watch, 20-30 movies will be like, you're like, what a crap I watched. I paid money for the popcorn, I paid money, I paid time also, I invested my time also, and then the movies turned out to be crap. So you can't tell that Bollywood is crap, or you can't tell that Hollywood is crap because of just some few movies. So life is also like a movie. Some parts you might not like, and but don't blame the whole movie for it. Some things might go wrong, and then you just keep moving. Don't just have a regret. Oh no, I won't do this again. Oh no, this what if this happens again? Then you will shatter yourself. You will just what do you say? Will be hibernation mode. Don't get into hibernate mode. Start moving and keep moving ahead.
Yeah. So what is it about Facebook ads? Because you just mentioned an interesting point. They're like, what if the Facebook ad cost goes up, YouTube ad cost goes up? So ads seem to be a very volatile subject, and I've never touched ads personally. I had contemplated. So just like you have a team, Parinit, one day we sat down. Okay. So this is a really cool story. So Parinit and I, it was just me. He had just came out of college, and we were sitting down. It's like, okay, we need to upskill. What do we do? We made a list of all the things, and we decided he's going to learn graphic designing, he's going to learn ads, he's going to learn video editing. I will learn how to close, I will learn how to build funnels, I will learn all the back-end automation. Here's what we did. But one thing I always saw is this Facebook ad seemed to be too scary. The right word is too many variables, too many things, and too less control. Like, how do you approach Facebook ads? What's your approach when you go about running Facebook ads, especially huge budgets? I think you had mentioned, and if you're okay mentioning, like, how much how much ad budget have you worked with? How do you go approaching it, especially when it's not your money, it's someone else's money, because they'll hold you accountable in some manner. So how do you approach all of this?
So yeah, just talking about the budgets, have handled more than 1 crore as of now. More than 1 crore I've spent in Facebook ads. And if you consider YouTube ads, I've spent more than 30-40 lakhs on YouTube ads. And that is increasing by almost 1 lakh rupees every day. So I'll be touching 1 crore in YouTube ad spend also within June itself. I'll be able to touch 1 crore, more than 1 crore.
Awesome.
So that is something I've spent across. Now coming to the budget part now, I'll not go into technicalities. I'll go into the mindset. What you
Okay.
go into do ads. So one of the biggest mindset you need to have is, if you're spending 100 rupees to acquire a lead, think of how much will that lead turn out to be in terms of lifetime value. So that is the thing you need to think. For example, you won't make the profit at the first level itself. You want it into product. We are talking in terms of coaching business. So
Yeah.
don't think of it as a kirana store. That somebody came that, okay, I acquired a customer for 50 rupees and they bought a product of 50 rupees and they went away. They will never come back. It's not like that. In coaching business, for example, if you're selling a 99 rupees webinar, for 99 rupees webinar, you might have to end up paying 500 or 600 rupees. You will be negative 500 rupees to get them just onto the webinar. But where the actual profit you will make is in the bigger mentorship programs, which you sell for lakhs and lakhs. That is the place where you make the actual money. And the funnel does not end there. You will have some your inner circle, you will have some retreats, you have different programs. That's where you actually make the profit. Because for acquiring the customer, you pay once. Then you don't have to pay the money for acquiring them again and again. But once you have them in your funnel, you can actually keep on adding value to them and keep getting repeated sales from them. That's where you make the actual money. So a lot of people, where they actually stop the ads is because they don't see the profit at the first level itself. And a lot of people actually who are as a customers, if somebody as a customer is watching this now, I actually want to make them clear that when you're paying 19 rupees to a coach, they're not making anything. They're actually in loss. They're actually spending 400 or 500 rupees bucks to get you inside. Because a lot of, I'll just continue.
Yeah, go ahead.
But a lot of people, what they actually email us on support that, oh, I paid my hard-earned 19 rupees to attend your webinar, didn't got any value. Please refund my money. So you need to know that when you're asking for a refund of 19 rupees, the person who has been running ads for you means the coach has spent almost 500, 600 rupees to get you inside the webinar, and they haven't made any single rupee out of you. Just for negative also, they have added a lot of value to you. So you need to be very open-minded when you're attending such thing, and you need to be open-minded on thinking of what value you got. Don't just look for some quick hacks in the webinar, because in a 3-hour webinar, nobody can do a magic on you and make you something do. So that is something you need to think of.
So I resonate to what exactly you told. This time we ran a 99 rupees cup program, and I almost had the shock of my life. At the end we calculated, guess how much our lead cost was? 675 rupees. I was like, dude, is this even working? I asked for it. Is this even working? We spent 600. I was like, no, it's working. But the quality of people who came, I was fulfilled. I was happy. The quality of people who came, I was like, this is genuinely worth the money which I've spent. I mean, I'm curious to know, just speaking a little on about ads, what do you think is the average cost per lead for free webinar, for a 99 rupees webinar? Some people go all the way up to 499 rupees. So what's the average healthy cost per lead out there?
So to be very honest, there is no right or wrong or fixed, I can say, on average. But according to my experience, again, I'm giving a disclaimer. This might not turn out to be, because it depends a lot on your niche. Because let me give you some extreme examples. For one of our clients back in 2020 end or maybe 2021 start, for 19 rupees webinar, we were getting lead at 19 rupees. So that was a break even just before the webinar. Wow. At the same time, other client was getting a lead cost of 500 rupees. The niche was different. So that is one of the thing. So that's why we can't come on an average of 19 rupees. What will be the cost? So, but as an answer, if you want an averages, if you talk about, then 100 to 150 is what we see as a free webinar lead cost. And for paid webinar, 19 rupees, it comes around for us. What I've seen as average is like 400. Lowest I have seen is, like I already told you, 19 rupees, and highest I have seen is around 700 to 800.
Okay.
And for 499, I haven't tested much, so I won't be able to say any figure because we are yet into testing it. So I'm not having any concrete figure to share, and I can't share a figure right now because it's like a very much absurd figure right now, which won't make sense at all.
Yeah, I mean, I was also thinking. I mean, I personally, this is just my thing, that to get a 499 thing, they must already be spending at least $1,000 per lead.
Easily.
What do you think? That's what I think. Like they might be spending $1,000 per lead for a 499 rupees lead, unless they're doing some really great retargeting and they have a huge list. Because I remember you had told me the money is in your list. That part.
Yeah. So it depends a lot on your brand as well. For example, you will easily go up and spending about $1,000 on Domino's or a big brand, or a Nike shoe or something like that. But even if you are getting the same quality and it's an XYZ brand, you won't spend because you don't trust them. So what a lot of things when it comes to lead cost, it's not just about what the freelancer is doing, what a technique you are applying. It's not about your trust as well, because you will easily spend a good amount of money on the brands you trust. For example, you go and spend 70,000 rupees on an Apple phone.
Yeah.
But if some very good company, for example, if any XYZ company is giving you the same features and everything, same brand quality, same service, after service, sales service, you will still think of spending $50,000 because you don't trust that brand. So it's same as in the ad world. If you know me, you know Shubhankar, you will easily start working with us without thinking too much. Oh, I'm spending this much money with these guys. Will they be able to repay off the value of what I'm paying? But if you trust us, you will easily pay. I know whatever I pay them, they'll give me 10x value. They will over deliver. So that is same thing with the products or in the coaching market.
So how do they bridge that gap? Like I build brands, but I want to know your perspective also. So how do they build that brands and what's the duration it takes? Is it that like some people I like just throw money on ads, like they spend everywhere you see their ads, literally from the calculator to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Once you get into that pixel, once you enter that pixel, is that the way to build? That's one way to build brand, I guess. Like, what's your idea to build a brand as a coach? What's your
So,
idea? How do they go about it?
so if you're starting out, what I would suggest is start with the free webinars. All the quality of the people will be low, but your risk will be also low because you will be getting good number of leads with a lower amounts. And start calling up people. What did they like about your webinar? Start collecting feedback. A lot of times we think that we are the authority. What if I call the people? What they will think about me? In the starting, put aside all your limiting beliefs. Start collecting leads. Do a webinar. People who didn't attend it, call them. People who attended, call them. What went well? Why did you bought? What was the things? So that way you start collecting the things. And the people you are talking about who are spending the ads on everywhere on calculator app on everything, so they are the people who have already seasoned, who are already into the market for 2 to 3 years, and they know how much they can spend and how can they recover. They have a whole funnel strategy in place. When you're starting out, you won't have the whole funnel strategy.
Yeah.
And even if you have the strategy, you haven't tested it. The people who are spending crazy money on ads now, they have already tested their funnels. They know the backend. If they put 1 rupee in here, they know how to make 10 rupees out at the end of the funnel. And they are on a long-term game. They're not for a short-term game. They're not for a 2-3 months game. They know that if somebody enters into the webinar today, and if they end up becoming a client, they might turn up to a 10 lakh rupees client in the end. The whole lifetime value of that client will be 10 lakh rupees. So for acquiring a 10 lakh rupees client, I can easily spend more than 10,000, 50,000 bucks. That's not an issue. If you know you can make 10 lakh out of a client, you can easily spend up on marketing 10 to 50,000. That's what the brands do. If you see on a TV ad, Dettol will keep showing you ads. Everywhere
Yeah.
you keep on showing Dettol. So that's the thing which they do because they know they will be able to recoup that money.
Got it. So that's a very good insight because sometimes it's like when you're playing a short-term game, let's say for examples, I remember I used to play the short-term game. All I was concerned about was how do I, and I'm going to be upfront here, how do I get this monthly karcha done? Did they buy it? Now it's like we're constantly nurturing and doing this. So I think let's say someone's stuck there in the zone of monthly karcha. Just I know people who are like, dude, I just need one client to pay me 10,000 rupees. My whatever karcha will be done. One more client for 10,000 rupees. I'll be really. How did they scale up? How did they get out of that trap? I call it, and mostly freelancers who are in that. It's like there are employees, there are freelancer, and then their brands. If you're an employee, you're safe, you'll get every month. If you're a brand, that's great, you'll get money every month. But in the middle, if you're a freelancer, I think you're stuck there. Like these coaches become freelancers that they constantly think about, dude, I just need money for this month, and they won't even think of scaling, they won't think of strategy, they won't think of anything. They just want that monthly month to get by. What should they do?
So yeah, so I was talking about something about my 1 year before and this year's
Ah,
that burning money thing. So yeah, so what I now I've done something very practical which everybody can take away from this podcast is I've started marking my finances on an Excel sheet. Where is the money going actually? Because a lot of times when you're the freelancer, you will have some high months where you make a lot of money unexpectedly. You will make a lot of money and you'll burn it. And next month you will have when you have a low, you won't know where the money is going. So always start tracking your finances, because if you have the track, if you put everything on an Excel sheet, you will know, okay, this money went this money went this. Even at 10 rupees you spend somewhere, put it on the sheet and categorize them in different categories. Where is the money going? And that way you'll have a sort of your, okay, what is the actual money I need? So when I did this activity for the first time, I figured out I don't need too much money to live. I was actually spending a lot of money on just subscriptions of softwares which I don't even use. I was spending a lot of money on things which I don't even like. I was just spending out of random money on things which I don't even need. So when you figure out what you need and you figure out what your wants, you will have a clear picture of what your needs. So now coming back to your question, how to handle those months where you need, okay, kharcha nikal jaye wala months, I'm able to get off the money. So whenever you're having the high months, keep the money aside for a rainy day. Start building your what do you say,
Emergency fund.
emergency fund for at least 6 months or 12 months, so that you don't have the thing, okay, what happens if next month I don't have any clients? Because that actually negatively affects you. When you're into too much pressure, you're actually fighting two battles. One is how to get this row of this month, how to get my boat rowed off for this month to the next month. And second thing is how I show myself as an authority and become a and charge high. When you yourself are broke and you're not able to show the dream to the, you're not able to see your own dream, how will you fulfill somebody else's dream? It is said that if your own what do you say, uh, plate is not filled, you can't fill somebody else's plate.
Yeah, it's like trying to pour from an empty bucket.
You're right. And even in the flight they say that first put on own mask, oxygen mask, and then somebody put somebody else's oxygen mask.
Got it. That's awesome. So I want to ask you one last question. What are the things you wish you had known before you started this journey? If listeners are watching over here and they want to know, okay, what are the things you're like, okay, I did this mistake. I wish I had known this earlier, but you shouldn't do this. What are those things which they should know?
So first thing I would say is get a mentor. Don't try to figure out everything on yourself. For example, if people who are starting out, start with books. I also read a book. You can start with a book. Start reading books first, because books are something which are available for very cheap. But don't put the price tag to the value you get out of book. You got a ton of value. And then start finding out mentors who you can reach out. Don't find mentors who you can even can't talk to. Start finding mentors who you can connect and have your Q&As and all those things. So when you're starting out, try to figure out people who are just at the next level to you, because they are reachable to you. For example, if I think I will get Bill Gates as my mentor, I'm not at the place where Bill Gates will give me time. I won't be able to reach him out. And try building a network. For example, we are having a podcast because we are connected to each other, and we are not just a client thing. We're just a client or a client or agency owner thing. We have a good relationship. We share a good relationship. We are at the same stage of business. We share our challenges with each other. So whenever if you find a client who is at the same level, don't just build a relationship of just a transactional relationship. Build a meaningful relationship that will turn out to opportunities. For example, I got an opportunity to speak on Shubhankar's one of the events. What was the batch? I guess graduation ceremony. So that was a good opportunity I got to speak today because of the relationship we have. So, and I keep on adding value. You keep on adding value to me. So whenever you're starting out, start building a network. And it's not just about having the number of contacts you have in your phone. It's about how many people are actually your net, means who are actually connected to you and who you can reach out. And that way you will get new opportunities on your time. So that was one thing which I got, which I thought I should knew before, because I tried to position myself in authority. I always try to not being authentic. When I was starting out, I was like, I was trying to conceal a lot of things. I will not be authentic. But the thing is, authenticity always pays. So that's something I thought I should have known before. And then never shy from getting help. That is something we as a starters in Indians. Okay, what if I ask for help? Oh, that person will show sympathy or something. Never shy away from getting help. If you're stuck at even a small thing, even if a small thing, even a very silly thing you think which is a silly thing, ask for help. I remember a lot of times I asked Shubhankar for help. But I was writing a book, and that time I was writing how to write a story. Then he gave me some pointers. Okay, you can figure this out, the story this way. He gets some stuck at automation. He would ask me, okay, how can I figure out this automation? So never shy from asking help. Even I remember Parini asked a lot of questions which I've already answered to him, but still he comes back. And when he comes back, it's not just he's getting something from me. I'm also getting something from me, that this is something I could have taught him better, so that next time he would have not come up with the same question. He would have got a better clarity. And that was, I also get to learn, okay, what are things working out for him? What are things I can add him value to him, that, okay, this is working out for me, you can try it out. And I also get to know what is working out for you, I can even apply it to my clients.
Yeah.
So that was something, that keep your ego aside when you're into business. Be a humble student always. Be a dream student. Although we are not in a formal college when you come into entrepreneurship, but I think that's life's entrepreneurship, which you get into, life school. When life's a school which you get into when you get into entrepreneurship. So always keep on doing. And the last thing I would like to add, last point is, just like you borrow money when you don't have money from the bank, borrow the courage from the people who believe in you. For example, when I started on my journey, I was not having the courage to start out the journey on all the entrepreneurship, but my mentor believed in me. My other mentees believed in me. They said, you can do it. And then I borrowed their courage, and they were much more had more belief in me than I had in myself. So I borrowed their belief, I borrowed their courage, and I went on to this journey. So whenever I feel like down, I talk to the people who believe in me, and then I again ignite my spark. So that is something you need to figure out. That's why it is said environment is more powerful than environment is very, sorry,
environment is more powerful than your willpower.
Yeah, than your willpower. So that's why make your environment of such people who can actually push you up when you're falling down.
Amazing. I really like the last line. It was beautiful. Just like you borrow money when you don't have money, borrow courage when you don't have courage. That's beautiful. So if people want to reach out to you, they want to work with you, how do they do that? I'm sure we'll put up some links also, whatever links. How do they reach out to you?
You can drop me a message on LinkedIn. I'm available on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Means like I'm available all everywhere. You can, even if you want to schedule a call, you can go to my website. But the calendars are like almost full always. So better to book put out a message on LinkedIn. I am always available on LinkedIn. You can always drop your message and expect a reply within 24 to 48 hours.
Awesome. Any last comments before ending our podcast?
So it was a lovely experience sharing the thoughts with you, and just getting to know one day before that, just getting to know this episode, or the first episode, I was even more excited. Like add more value to the people, so that this podcast runs a long way and people come back to see, oh, where did it all go started? What was the first episode?
Yeah.
I was like really pumped up, really excited that this is the first episode.
Yeah, man, long way to go, long way to go. We got a great association. So thank you very much, everyone. If you want to reach out to Vikas, download his book, book a call with him. We're gonna put out all the links. And if you want to ask any questions or Vikas, you can drop it in the comments below. You can DM him at Vikas Agrawal. Okay. Thank you so much for being an amazing guest. It was really nice talking to you. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, Shubhankar.